In this video, I'm going to show you how to factor. Factor means that you're going to find two things that when you multiply them together, it equals the product or the answer. So to start this, I'm going to make two parentheses because whatever it is, it will be this times this equals x squared plus 5x plus 6. The first thing I do is I look at my first term. My first term is x. I say to myself, what times what equals x squared? Well, it's x times x. All right, so now for the first part, I have my first term. The next thing I do is I look at my last term, and I say, what are the factors of 6 that add up to 5? The factors of 6 that add up to 5. So I'm going to write down all the factors of 6. 1 times 6, or 6 times 1, 2 times 3. And that's it. Now, which one of those could I use to add up to 5? Well, it would be 2 and 3. So I will put a 2 here, it doesn't really matter. 2 here and a 3 here. And everything is plus in this problem, so I'll put a plus there and a plus there. And there are my two factors. And when I multiply this out, it turns out to be x squared plus 5x plus 6. All right, let me show you another one. How about if I say x squared plus 7x plus 10. I'm going to make two parentheses, and it's all plus. So I say what times what equals x squared, and again it's x times x. Then I have to look at my last term. What are the factors of 10? Well, 1 times 10, 2 times 5, and that's it. Which one of those could I use to add up to 7? Well, it's 2 and 5. So I'll put the 2 here, the 5 here, and again, I'm going to put plus signs. Okay? And that's my factors. One factor is x plus 2, the other factor is x plus 5. I'm going to show you one now that has a negative sign in it. What if I would say, what are the factors of this polynomial? X squared plus 1x minus 6. I make my two parentheses. And x times x again, so I'll just put the x here again. Now I have to say, what are the factors of negative 6? Well, it could be negative 1 times 6. It could be negative 6 times 1. It could be negative 2 times 3, or negative 3 times 2. It could be any of those. Now, I have to use one, however, that adds up to a positive 1. So, and that multiplies to 6. So do you see anything here that you could use that would add up to positive 1? How about this? 3 take away 2, isn't that 1? 3 take away 2 is 1. So in this case, I'm going to use negative 2 and positive 3. And I have to use those signs. When I multiply that out, it ends up being x squared plus 1x minus 6. Guys, make sure you write down all these notes. I'm going to give you one more. All right, how about if I have this? X squared minus 5x plus 6. Make my two parentheses. But now look, in this case, I have to have something that multiplies out to positive that adds up to negative. So I'm going to put my factors down again. 1 times 6, 1 times 6, 2 times 3. But they both multiply to 6, but they do not add to negative 5. The only way to get them to add to negative 5 is to put a negative here and a negative here. All right, so watch this. I'll put my x's down. And then for it to be multiplied to positive adds up to negative, they both have to be negatives. Negative 2. All right, now watch this. Let's try this, okay? X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. 2 times x, excuse me, it's not 2 times x, it's negative 2 times x equals, I made a mistake. This has to be a 3. Sorry, kids. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and then negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Now I combine these things, and you can do it in your calculator if you want to. Baby negative 2, take away 3. It will end up being x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay? I hope I didn't mess you up too much. When you go back and write this down, this is a 3. X minus 3 and x minus 2.